Hey Aquarius, we're here with your September energy reading. This will be timeless, even though it'll say 2021. This is your timeless September energy reading. Let's get into it. I'm gonna hit the bell real quick. I don't know if I've been doing this on my other videos, but I need to be. So let's clear the energy out, shall we? And receive that, okay? Now let's get it. If you would like to follow me over on Instagram, Aquarius, you can do so. There'll be a link in the description box. If any of these messages resonate with you and you would like to leave a love donation, that information will be listed in the description box below. And if you would like a personal reading, that information will also be in the description box below. The first card out, Aquarius, is the Nine of Swords. What you stressed about, boo? No. Don't try to act all, I've got it together, Aquarius, okay? What's going on here? That's coming up for a reason. This is coming up with purpose. There's something on your mind. Nine of Swords, swords are thoughts and communications. There's something you are very stressed, worried, and anxious about. And it's like keeping you up at night. This is also, insomnia. So you're already an air sign. You're already the alien of the zodiac. You're already, that airy mental quality up in your head. Even though you guys think outside the box a lot, your mind can be a war zone if you don't tend to it. I mean, anybody's really, but most especially for the Aquarius, because it's just in your nature to be heady. It's in your nature to be, all mental and also out there in the stratosphere with all that etheric energy that you guys pick up from that alien of the zodiac quality. But you also have strength. So I feel like this has been tough. Ooh, let's get into this, Aquarius, because I was not anticipating all of this energy. But when like a stress or worry card comes up and then strength card comes after it, it's a good thing. It gives you the assurance like, oh yes, I've got the strength to get through it. But what it also is telling me that it requires and has been consuming a great deal of your strength to manage this energy. So let's pull up some more cards. Aquarius, what's going on, boo? I think you're worried about waiting for something you're waiting for. Like, oh man, I really put my effort into this. I put my all into this. I really have been trying and really trying to create this new, I'm sorry, y'all, this my shirt. I was not ironing this t-shirt, y'all, but now the wrinkles are bothering me. Anyway, see, but you see why I leave stuff like that in there? Because I feel like that is because you're so anxious about this thing you've been waiting for. I'm not trying to make my stuff your stuff, but just catch what I'm throwing at you, okay? Because you have all of these things going on, and there's something bigger, something that you put your sweat, tears, effort, even your physical being, exerted effort to plant these seeds that you're waiting to harvest. I feel like it's making you overthink about everything. Like, oh God, just wanting everything to be perfect and in its place. So this thing that you are waiting to blossom goes off without a hitch, if that makes sense. Okay. But there's nothing for you to really worry about. Like, you did the work, because you see, he sees there's absolutely nothing else I can do. I've done it all, baby. And the only thing I can do right now is to wait. So this talks about patience, but it talks about a temporary pause in action and seeds well planted. So whatever this thing is that you're trying to cultivate into, this isn't just in your internal life. This is something you're trying to bring about on the ground, because Pentacles is earth energy, and that deals with everything that's on the ground. That deals with, security, shelter, home, food, the things that bring you sustenance in the physical. So now you just have to wait for the harvest. Now you have to wait for the trees to bear the fruit, you know, of all of your effort. Page of Swords. I feel like, okay, normally when that comes up, I'm like, somebody's in your business. You know, that's the Page of Swords. So that's somebody who's, you know, peeking in. It's the lurking card, the Google card, looking you up. So there could be somebody who's looking you up, Aquarius, but I feel like you've been peeking in on someone. And perhaps all of this work that you've done already is work you've done on yourself, right? And so maybe you're waiting for that work to blossom into the next chapter or next cycle that you've been trying to get to. And yeah, this feeling I'm getting right now is kind of like wanting to cultivate a life that's truly your own, that's truly reflective and authentic to you. Because if in the past you've been inauthentic or have been a different version of yourself for others, we are in your age, Aquarius, okay? We're not just in you know, it's not like we're waiting around for Aquarius season. This is not this entire new age is in your sign. And that's all about, you know, enlightenment and, you know, conscious awakenings and, you know, things like that. You get what I'm saying? So like this particular moment in time hits a little different for you. But I feel like you are the one who's looking in on somebody who you missing, Aquarius. If you single, you know, if you in a relationship and this don't fit, it's okay. That's another thing I forgot to say in the beginning. These messages are general. If they do not resonate, baby, put down what doesn't belong to you, okay? Don't try to make that thing fit. If it's not you, it's not you, boo. Pass that message along. It might be for somebody else, okay? And this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, baby. You like it, I love it. And for cross watchers, but excuse me, ma'am, Mr. King of Swords. We definitely talking to you, Aquarius. And that fell down like right on top of these two cards. So like, what's up, baby? Who are you looking in on, Aquarius? Who are you thinking about that got you up like this? Again, if you single, okay? I ain't trying to start no problems. Respect your relationships, people. Make good choices, as they say. But I feel like you've been on your own, wrestling your own beast, working with yourself and the strength it takes to overcome these self-limiting ideas and beliefs that, you know, oftentimes they're not even ours. You know, those are like other people's voices in our head, or a version of our own voice that's kind of like beating up on ourselves. Because sometimes we're our own worst critic, right? And that's especially true of you, Aquarius. Like, can't nobody do hard on myself like an Aquarius, I feel sometimes. You might not be the main sign known for that. I'm not sure. I'm not a professional astrologist here, people. But what I get the feeling is that you are now moving into, I'm ready to live my best life. I'm ready to live. And your best life is your most authentic life. And that authentic thing, it seems like it's taking center stage right now in September, like having the strength to also trust that the transformations coming, that the fruits of your labor are going to be ready for harvest, right? Because in the Eight of Pentacles talks about the diligent work. But right now, up until this point, you've done the work, and some divine timing is what's required here. Like, you have to trust that you did everything in the physical. That's why I love that this is like a on the ground card for Pentacles, for Earth, but that there's no action taking place. Like, this is like the true moment of I've done all the work, now let the work show up for me. I've done all the work, I've done everything on my part humanly, now I gotta see how the divine brings it back. and brings it down, right? Because as above, so below, as within, so without. So I feel like there's some mental clarity coming in. This is discernment. And perhaps whatever is stressing you is something that when you were in this position of authority or decision making, maybe you felt like you made a decision that was more facts over feelings, but like delivered in a way that was like not so graceful. Okay. This is so interesting. I'm like catching a whole story right here with you, Aquarius. But I feel like you are watching somebody. And I don't mean that in like some creep way, like you're watching somebody, like, you know, not peeping Tom voyeur, like, you know, cyber stalking someone. I'm not talking about that. Okay. I'm talking about like, maybe this is something, a past regret, a past something, and you're looking back, peering into a life that would have been yours. I don't know where this is coming from, because y'all, I don't do readings like this. Watch all my readings. But there's something very particular going on here, Aquarius. And I'm like, ooh, child, maybe I'm the one peeking too far and I need to mind my business. What's going on with y'all? You have the Fool. So this is like a brand new start, okay? It makes sense for all of this energy to be coming up, okay? You got the Three of Wands beneath that. So that's waiting for your ships to come in. So again, this idea of like, it's coming. Like you can see the ships in the distance. You can see that it may not be ripe for picking, but you see the fruits of your labor coming in. You see the harvest that awaits you, right? So again, this idea of waiting and trusting that like you know is on its way. And look at your card is underneath. And then I got the Hermit with the Five of Wands. I got to get up out of here. Let's move on to another deck. Like I'll explain what that is though. I'm not just gonna leave y'all hanging, but like, this new beginning is something you called in on your own, okay? And maybe you're stressed out about how this new beginning is about to take place, okay? Because, you know, sometimes when we grow or when we discover new truths about ourselves, everybody doesn't come to the next chapter with us, and that's difficult. Or, you know, that can be in friendships, in business partnerships, at work, right? This can be in your interpersonal relationships, a romantic relationship, familial relationships. However it shows up for you this month, Aquarius, I feel like don't be in such a state of inner conflict, because there's a lot of deep healing. And this is your card, Aquarius. And you also have the Hermit. So that talks about like solo time to go within, to seek that inner reciprocity, right? Because Six of Pentacles talks about reciprocity, but we're talking about like inner balance, inner reciprocity. So that way you can most definitely show up into other places and spaces and be like, I'm not taking less than that, because that's what I give myself. Does that make sense? But I really feel like there's some real inner work going on here, and you really just trying to be your best butterfly self while you're still around same situations or people or the same job or the same whatever that you were in when you were still in, as you know, in your caterpillar phase, or while you were in your chrysalis phase, you know. And so now you're trying to adapt to life around you from the space of this new version of yourself, experiencing some same things. Oh, Aquarius, for my singles, okay? For my singles. Soulmate relationship, new romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. And let me tell you something, that spiritual basis is going to be clutch for you, Aquarius. And so if this is pertaining to my boot up, we together forever, Aquariuses, then it just talks about your relationship entering a stage where that's happening, because now, you know, like I always say, be sure to check somebody if it's your turn to be checked, right? Like boundaries are clear. Boundaries are clear. But sometimes it's really just about us. Like we really just gotta take care of us and heal up some things in us, so that way you can distinguish between like, are you really like, is this worth the response I really want to give? Or is what you're doing something milder that can get resolved with a little less fire than I'm wanting to give, because it's triggering me, and so it's making me want to lash out in a way that mimics a past situation, if that makes sense. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But when you do your own spiritual cleansing, healing, yes, the energy is clear, bright, and right, yes. Then when you attract in a new person, it's everything. You know what I'm saying? When you attract in, when you show up as that version of yourself, sometimes you draw it out in another, in your counterpart, right? Yeah, I love this card. And you see, like, it's like, it looks like DNA, and they're all like, the dolphins are all like swimming around. And like, this is one of my favorite soulmate cards in any of the decks, because it says something about spiritual basis. You know, like, soulmate relationship, a new romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. Like, who doesn't want that? Yes, Aquarius, I'm feeling this for you this month. And we got set your sights higher, increase your standards, and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. This is key and clutch as well. Don't settle, Aquarius. If you're not happy in your job, start planting those seeds of putting out your resume, doing what you got to do to get into a different and better situation. Or even if that means begin your own business on the side and start waiting till that grows big enough to where you can leave your job, as we call it. Or if this is in your relationships, however this is showing up for you, like, don't just settle because you think that's something you just got to do. You don't have to do anything, boo. You don't have to settle for anything. Use your discernment so you're not just blowing up your life because you're reacting purely out of fight or flight mode, right? When you're like on top speed flight mode, like, don't make no decisions, baby. Okay. Use that hermit healing star energy to get you back to center. But always know that you deserve what you believe you deserve. Okay? That you get what you believe you deserve as well, you know? Like, increase your standards, not only of what you expect of other people, but what you expect of yourself, right? Like, be good to yourself. You're good at cheering other people on, at giving advice and being, you know, around other people, but you're so hard on yourself and you don't always take that advice. Take that advice. You deserve all the good, yummy things, all right? You deserve all the good, delicious things life has to offer. Oh, we got contemplation time. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. This is crazy. Stop. Did anybody else see that? Yes. And it says consult an expert. More information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. So even if that's just like getting some therapy, okay? Or if that's, you know, talking to somebody who you know has gone through this particular situation, or going to talk to someone who's good at, you know, helping spruce up your resume, or if that's couples counseling or individual counseling, however that shows up for you, going to an elder in your community, you know, developing new, you might develop a new hobby and then start talking to somebody who's better well versed in that hobby, and it opens up a whole new world and doors for you. This is a good time to get into deeper and more beautiful relationship with yourself, and then watch how this month you're going to see like the transformation of the relationships around you. And look, it says at the bottom of the deck, watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire, not what you fear. Like, come through with a word. Okay? Come through with the word. Sorry for the glare, y'all. This is good stuff, y'all. Let me hurry up because I done yapped to myself all the way to 19 minutes. Cheese and crackers. But this was good. Aquarius, wow. I have not, I'm over here blown away by myself. Like, that felt so much different than readings I've done recently. If you want to catch a word with me on Instagram, y'all, I go live there a couple times a week. That information's in the description. Uh-oh. All right. We got Wolverine. See, look at this. Fierce, unpredictable, wild, power struggles, assertive, possessive, renegade, fearless, determined, elusive. I think that's part of your fear. Like, you're worried that something is going to elude you, that, you know, that something's too elusive for you to have. And I don't care if that's like the relationship you want, the person you want, the job you want. Something for you feels like elusive to you. And I think that's where some of that angst or anxiety, you know, that anxious energy is coming from. And I just think trust is going to be like clutch for y'all this month. Like, and trusting, like trusting the transformation. Like I said, you're probably still in environments and around people who were with you during your caterpillar and your chrysalis stages, and now that you're this like brand new butterfly, it's like hard to reconcile how you explain that to you know what I'm saying? But this is for you, and this is part of your journey. And once, you know, once the butterfly is a butterfly, it never goes back to being a caterpillar. So it's not saying you have to like sever ties with people, but it's just saying that there might be little bits and pieces of this leg of the race in your life where it feels a little lonely or you feel a little misunderstood. But don't let that make you second guess the things that are enriching you and nourishing you, these wonderful new things you found on this side of the transformation. Raise your standards, boo. You got island, foreign affairs. Ooh, we traveling? Where we going? Solo, isolation, standoffish, separate, estranged, lonely, independent, refuge, protected. You see that? So in your lonesome energy, you are protected. Don't second guess what you needed to do in order to transform. Like, you just had to transform. You see, look again, mice, illness, fatigue, stress, anxiety, worry, reduce, all that yucky stuff, right? This is like coming from a space and place of lack. But you also have sun, the bringer of life. This is masculine energy. Ego, purposeful, pride, willfulness, success, reason over instinct, self-realization, vitality, directed, creative, identity, right? So this is something very much so wrapped up in your identity. This is the sun card. That's the happiest card in the deck. That means a light is being shown, and maybe that's what your transformation is exposing, is what life looks like in this role at work, in this role in your home, in this role in your friendships, or however that shows up for you. What it looks like now with this version of you. That makes sense. And like, again, like that, like whole like past person thing. Y'all know that's not me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Cause y'all know I'm not with the pick me stuff. I'm not with the F-boy stuff. I'm not with the, you know, like, let's have some healthy ass relationships out here, people. Okay, we are over trauma bonding and toxicity. But, you know, people should be allowed room to grow. So there's that as well. And we got cross, destiny, spirituality, divine guidance, trials, necessity, conviction, sorrow, emotional loss, duty, crisis, fate. There might be, you know, during this time, you're really going to have to like lean into your faith. Oh, look at the bottom of the deck. Okay, the first cardinal. Start of a season. And at the bottom it says, yes, take inspired action. There's something that you're waiting on doing. Okay, you got a lot of waiting cards, waiting for your ships to come in. It's like you're waiting for something to get together so that you can do the next thing, and you're worried about those things not coming together. Please let me know if this makes sense, because I'm just telling you how I'm getting it. You're worried that the thing that you were waiting, like you hope you don't miss the opportunity for all these things that you were waiting to fall into place so that you could show up. Like, look, I'm out of the chrysalis. I'm this butterfly. says, yes, take inspired action. You got trendsetter, original, start of a season. So, you know, starting off this fall, because, you know, even though it's September, we're not technically in fall just yet. Perhaps at the beginning of like the true fall season, I'm talking about like when you can see the foliage changing on the trees, this yes inspired action moment will hit you, and then you'll see what the waiting was for and why it was always going to happen that way and why it was best for the waiting to happen that way. Okay, and having that conviction to like release that sorrow, release that emotional loss, and not be so stressed out about it, right? Like give yourself some grace. This is what we keep coming back to. Give yourself some grace, Aquarius, okay? And you got anchor. So there's stability coming in. There's a, you know, calming of all of the fray after the dust settles in your new transformation, right? This is a like kind of new start. Like you won't miss your new start, okay? It's gonna be like that evident when it shows up and you're like up in it, okay? So I know you feel like you're waiting, but for me, baby, it's basically here. So that's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a happy September. I'm wishing you mad love and many blessings. You count, you matter, you are important. You are seen, you are heard, you are worthy, you are deserving, you are magic, Aquarius, baby. Go get up in it. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Later.